All right. Since it seems that I have some extra time here, um, as I'm actually waiting for an inspector to come. Anyway, um, let's talk about what I just heard on the radio, and that is this controversy with the whole border wall and the government shutdown and Donald Trump trying to threaten taking executive power, which he doesn't have under the Constitution. But there was a law passed in 1976 that granted the president national emergency powers, so that if hurricanes or earthquake or fires or some sort of national emergency, nation, as in the entire nation, not just, wildfires in California, that qualifies. Hurricanes in Florida and Texas, that qualifies. Earthquakes, blizzards in the Northeast that have people out of power for 2 weeks at a time, that's a national emergency. It affects the nation. This immigration issue is not a national emergency. And the reason why it's not a national emergency is because it's been going on for years. If you want immigration change, then Congress needs to get off its butt and do it. And if I were the president, I would be squaring up with Congress over this. I wouldn't even be, threatening to take executive action in a way that is unconstitutional. The president cannot just say, oh, this is a national emergency, so therefore I'm going to build a wall and I'm going to take funds from taxpayers to go do whatever he wants to do. It sets a bad precedent that then the next president who comes along and says, well, you know what? I think these pesky Christians is our national emergency because of whatever reason. And I think that we need to build internment camps like FDR did in World War II. By the way, a Democrat put Japanese citizens, Americans, in internment camps because they were thought to be the enemy. And that was it's instances like that we want to avoid, because giving the executive branch the power to do that is dangerous, because you might think it's for a really necessary thing until it's not. Until the next guy comes in, or a Democrat comes in and says, you know what, there's a national emergency. We have too many guns on the street. So I'm ordering all of the police agencies across the country to start confiscating guns that people have on their persons. Whether they're law-abiding, whether they're constitutionally protected or not. And see, Donald Trump has already said, take the weapons, take the firearms now, and fight it out in court. He's already said that. Now, granted, the context of that what he was saying was in regards to people with mental health issues not having firearms. But Donald Trump actually disagreed with the general that was making the point, and that is, we want the rights protected of the people not to have their firearms seized. It's the Second Amendment right. And yet, an example of national emergency would be something like that. Oh, well, it's an emergency. Look, in the streets of Chicago every day, people are getting killed with guns. Yeah, that is true. That's mainly gang violence, and those are illegal, and they are criminals. They're not law-abiding. And yet, that would be like Rahm Emanuel tomorrow saying, I'm going to declare a national emergency, or even a regional emergency, a city-wide emergency, as the mayor of Chicago, and we're confiscating every single gun in the city limits. Whether you're law-abiding or not, it doesn't matter. That's what we're talking about. This is not a good thing for Trump to do. I actually supported Donald Trump when he walked out of that meeting with Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi. That I absolutely agreed with, because he was not going to get anywhere in a meeting with them, and they're entrenched. They're already saying that we're not going to negotiate no wall. Well, that's not going to be helpful to the situation either. Personally, the wall has been considered being built for years. George W. Bush wanted something like that. Congress passed a law for that, for fence security. Let's just fund what's already on the books as law, right? Donald Trump doesn't even need a new law from Congress. He just needs the funds. Because you notice he's only asking for the money to build it, the appropriation of the money. He's not actually asking for the bill to be passed because it's already been passed. We already have a bill. We already have law in the books that say we want border security, and then that's going to entail fences. And to be honest with you, I don't care about the fence. I really don't. I mean, sure, you want to build a wall? That's fine. I don't object to that. I mean, if you live in Arizona or Texas or New Mexico or California and you want a wall, by all means, build it. I have no problem with that. But it's like, I don't care. And the thing is and honestly, having a government shutdown doesn't hurt me, doesn't hurt you. You know, the government shuts down every weekend. Nobody seems to be hurt or, murdered in the streets because of it. And so I maintain that my problem right now with President Trump is that a national emergency does not include immigration. And the reason why is because this has been going on for years. 4 years. Now, if you want to go toe to toe with the Democrats, and you want to, on principle, shut down the government until they fund the wall, that's fine, because that's what Congress is supposed to do, is fund the projects. There's supposed to be money for it. So, okay, I don't have a problem with that. But I do absolutely love Trump when he walked out of the meeting with Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi, because if I was him, I would be like, I'm not even going to entertain a bill that has their okay or approval, because nothing good is going to come from them. Although nothing good came from the Republicans. Now remember, Republicans had 2 years to do this, and they failed, and they lied. They lied to the American people. I am so fed up with the Republican Party that I'm no longer a Republican. I'm in the New Patriot Party. NPP, the New Patriot Party. But, all right, that's just my little rant about granting a national emergency. And I believe that this is a very dangerous precedent to set. All right, until next time, guys, 1789 Rebel signing off.